So I chose this deal over a lot of other deals. I looked at a lot of deals, and they didn't fit the profile that I was looking for. And the profile I'm looking for is a value add property where I can go in and ideally increase the rents, lower the expenses, therefore increasing the NOI and add value to the property. So increase the cash flow and create that appreciation. So I looked at a lot of properties, made some offers on properties, and even went under contract on one property, but during the inspection period saw some things that I didn't like and decided to pull out of that one. Now this one I liked it. It was smaller than I would have liked. 6 units. It wasn't the ideal size of property that I was looking for. Ideally I was looking for 15 to 20, but this really did fit the profile. Rents were well below market, and it was in a great area. Something else I look for in my properties. So let me go into a little bit more detail. I bought this property for $300,000. It was a 6 unit, so that's $50,000 a door. And it's in a great area of Covington, Kentucky, which is just across the river of Cincinnati, Ohio. It's about, depending on traffic, 5 to 10 minutes away from downtown Cincinnati. So that was a big draw for me, knowing that it was so close to downtown that someone could live there and travel downtown and be close enough, where that traveling there for work wouldn't be an issue, or traveling there for leisure wouldn't be an issue either. But yeah, so going back to the purchase price, I bought it for $300,000, and what I liked about this deal was, even though it was in rough shape, the broker that brought me the deal was getting ready to market a property literally 2 blocks down, same size property, a 6 unit for $500,000, and my property was actually in a slightly better area. That property was further south in Covington, and the further south you go, generally, it's less desirable. So mine was further north, so it was in a slightly better area. So I knew that there was some value there, and that the unit that the broker was getting ready to market didn't have upgraded units. The units were decent enough. They weren't in rough shape or anything like that, but they didn't have sort of granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, that sort of thing. So, which I plan to have in mine. So just looking at that straight away without really digging deeper into the numbers. Now that he was marketing the property, so it didn't mean that that's what it would sell, but at the time, looking at that property, I felt quite confident that he would be able to sell for that, and he was fairly confident actually, and the $500,000 was actually on the low end. He thought they might be able to get a little bit more, but because I built a good relationship and trust, he wanted to be honest with me, and he thought that conservatively they would sell for $500,000. So straight off the bat, I knew that with a bit of work, I could turn this property around and create some equity. Now the second thing that really attracted me was the rents. On this 6 units, it was 4 2 bedrooms, 2 1 bedrooms. And the 4 bedrooms, one was for the 4 2 bedrooms. One bedroom was going for $525, one was going for $575, one was going for $700, and one was going for $800. And then both the 1 beds were going for $550. So right off the bat, I knew that at worst that I was one of the units was already getting $800. So no matter what, I could raise all the 2 bedrooms to that $800, because that one unit proved it. But in fact, doing my rental comps and the analysis of the area, conservatively, I believed that we could get $1,000 for those 2 bedrooms. They were about 950 square feet, and so I could raise, on some of those units, I'd be raising the rents $450, or even more. And even on the highest priced unit, I would be getting a 200 rent bump. So secondly, I knew that just by improving the units and doing some little bit of work to the hallways, that I would be getting big rent bumps, and that this property would greatly cash flow. So I like that. Plus at the time, when we went into contract, it was 100% occupied. So even though the rents were well below market, there was cash flow day one. Great cash flow day one, even though the rents were well below market because of the low purchase price, as I mentioned. So that was good. And then also, as I mentioned, it was in a great area. So I mentioned that it was close to downtown Cincinnati, which was a big plus. But also Covington, Kentucky, which, as I mentioned, is really close to Cincinnati, is an area that is somewhat gentrifying. There's been a lot of change there. As I mentioned, further south, it's less desirable, but the more north you get and the closer to Cincinnati and downtown you get, the better it gets. And I'm pretty close to that. So I really like that. You've got a lot of trendy bars, coffee shops. When I was there doing the inspection, I saw that there was a lot of young professionals walking around, a lot of young people. It was a vibrant place, and I really like that. Along with the street itself, it's in a historical area of Covington, so that brings in some other challenges, but it also makes sure that everyone maintains their property to a certain standard. And it was a great tree-lined street. It was a beautiful street. Along with that as well was when I walked the area, I realized literally 7 or 8 houses down from mine, there was $2 million properties. So someone, I think, had bought a multifamily property and turned it into a single family residence and really gone to town and made it look absolutely beautiful. So I like that. And I also like that there was a mix of single family properties and multifamily properties there as well. So you had, families just living in their houses, and there was kids out playing. And there were some other properties there as well that people had gone in and improved and made them to look really nice. So the area was really good, and I knew by improving the property, making the units nice, giving it some curb appeal, and improving the hallways, that I would be able to achieve those rents, the $1,000 on the 2 bedrooms. And then I forgot to mention about the 2 bedrooms. They were at $550, and I thought conservatively I could get $800 for those. So again, that's a great rent bump right there. That's a $250 rent bump right there. So just the area being that nice and being that close to, there's a street called Madison Avenue, which is sort of the hip place where all the bars are, that I will be able to attract good tenants, high-paying tenants, and that I'll be able to force the appreciation on that one, on this one, as well as creating great cash flow, which I like. Obviously, the goal is to always have cash flow, but appreciation is amazing as well, because with appreciation, you give yourself that option of either refinancing, selling, doing a cash out refinance. So all those things pointed out to a great deal, and it didn't take very long for me to sort of make an offer on this one and move pretty quickly. So that's why I like the deal, and I was very happy when the seller accepted the price. They were getting ready. It wasn't actually on market. I'll get into that a little bit more in the next video, but they were getting ready to market, and it was $300,000 was what they're getting ready to market. And so I made a full price offer and got it. And it was without doubt a great deal.